This is Michael De Silvas with a little tip today about how people perceive one another. I want to give you some facts that being a person with a disability all my life myself, I don't like people to pity me about it, one, and I don't like people to feel sorry for me either. But I just want to give you some tips and facts about how people generally treat people with disabilities because I've had this all my life. So I can say this stuff humorously, but it really goes on. Um, I believe that sometimes that people don't want me to do computer work for them because they think that I can't see well enough to do it. I've heard people say that to people before. I've heard my stepdad say that. So I'm sure a lot of people think that as well. And to tell you the truth, the fact about disabilities, we are the minority of the country. We're well underrepresented. We don't get good opportunities like everybody else, and we often are ignored, and often people don't want to help us. And that's how I've experienced with disability. People don't want to extend the same opportunities. You have the same education, you go into the same college, you could have gone to Harvard, but if you have a disability, it doesn't matter. Or you could have gone to Duke or Yale. It's just a name of a university. But the point is, what I'm trying to say, if I was a person that didn't wear these glasses and I could see good and I could drive a car, I would get a lot more better opportunities. But why is that? Because that's what people think, that you have to be normal in order for people to accept you. When Jesus says we should accept those and embrace those who are have disabilities and handicaps, we're supposed to be helping those who have disabilities and handicaps, not by feeling sorry for them, not by excluding them in the group with everybody else, not by denying them opportunities or money that they could make because of a talent or because of an ability that they have that is not being looked at because people are prejudiced or people are scared or for whatever other reason it is. But all people, like I'm here to say, if you shake when you walk, do you shake do you rock back and forth when you talk? Some people do that. Do you stumble? Do you have a hard time seeing? Whatever your problem is, you be proud because of your problem, because God made you that way. And God made you that way to be that way so you could be special, just like me. So you can impact the world and show people when they say you can't do something, that you can do it. Because God is with you, and God is supporting you, and God is looking after you. That's what God says to me. And when many people rejected me and said I could never go to college, I had educators tell me that in school. I went to college and I did really good. And I did very well. And I've learned a lot of things from Johnson Bible College. Now it's Johnson University, Liberty University, and Roanoke Bible College. Now it's called Mid-Atlantic Christian University. I've learned a great deal of information from these schools, not to mention CTU online, and not to mention the Art Institute out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I had a 4-point GPA at CTU. So the thing is, it's you don't have to. You can do this stuff even if you're disabled. You can still do wonderful things. I know the messages that I put out here on YouTube have helped many people, even if they didn't subscribe, or even if they didn't send a donation, because most of y'all don't. But donations do come in, however. But the thing is, I hope more people will, because it helps me to do what I need to do. It helps pay the bills around here. It helps pay the internet. It helps all these things, so I keep bringing the message to you. I like talking into this camera, and I like educating people about things that you can do in spite of your limitations. Because even when we're normal, quote unquote normal, truthfully and seriously, I would like to say, have you ever found somebody that was truly normal in the world, even when they use that classification? Because I haven't found nobody that was normal yet, even though they may have used the word in vernacular several times. But yet they're not normal because nobody is. There's always something wrong or something weird going on with everybody. But, it just seems like the ones that have disabilities that are physical get picked on the most. I wear these bottle cap glasses. I know they look like soda caps. I know they do. But that's what helps me see. I can't help I have to wear them. Why can't you people understand that? But I can still do the stuff that you do. I might have to wear glasses or use adaptive technology. Like that CCTV over there. See that white thing hanging down? That camera right there? Yeah. See that monitor? That's the CCTV. A big monitor right there. There's two of them there, but the one nearest to my door going out of my apartment / my business. That's what I used to do computer work with, okay? So I can see those little chips and all. Really good with that. It's like blow them up really big. Even though they might be the size of a rice or half a rice kernel, or they might be the size maybe about that big. But, I can see it fine with that thing. I can read the numbers off of it fine. Without CCTV, I wouldn't be able to do this computer work. Without adaptive technologies, I wouldn't be able to do this stuff. But thank God we have that stuff today. And it works really good. So what I'm trying to tell you today is just, look around you. Don't worry about what people have to say about you. Life is too short to be upset and mad and be depressed because somebody thinks that don't have it or you'll never make it. You just show the world that you can do in spite of your disability. And you'd be surprised where that takes you. Your attitude is really your altitude. I've read that on the wall at a place where I worked in fast food. Your attitude is your altitude. And what that translates to mean in life means how your perspective is in life is how far you'll actually go in achieving what your goals are and what you really want to do. And there's nothing supernatural about that, even though God does have a hand in it. It's really true. You motivate yourself, you have a good attitude, you treat people good even though some people can treat you really bad. And you still have a good attitude towards them. It's going to pan out for you. Because God's going to see to it that's something you can do that's useful with your life to make a fairly decent living. It may not be rich. I preach on here. I don't make a buttload of money. And I'm not in it for a buttload of money. I'm really not. But I do it because I love you. And I care about you. You can see my cracked teeth when I smile. And you can see my big glasses. And you probably think, oh, that's some retarded fool up there, don't you? Well, I'm here to tell you, no, I'm not retarded. I don't have no mental problem. So a lot of people, that's another misnomer. That people get a check, a lot of people assume that you have some kind of mental deficiency or deformity. I'm doing that on purpose. A lot of people think you are deficient or a deformity in some way. So they want to put you in that label. Oh, you get a check, so there's something mentally wrong with you or anesthetized about you. They don't want to help you. They don't want to deal with you because you're crazy. And that's just a misnomer. But see, a lot of people that quote unquote think they're normal think that way. I know a lot of people that get checks. I had to educate a guy named Mark Coffey at Mechanicsville Church of Christ on a lot of these things because he was just in the wrong class and with the wrong demeanor or thought. He thought that all people that get checks are somewhat mentally deficient or have some kind of mental disability or developmental disability. And I said, well, a lot of people do, but there's a lot of people like me who don't have those problems that get it too. I get it because of my eyesight, but not because of my mental. There's nothing wrong with my brain. My brain, I have a 135 IQ. Okay, I've been tested. I'm a genius. I've been tested. I've taken the Scholastic Performance test and did very well on them. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with my head cognitively. The only thing that's wrong with me is my vision. That's the only thing that slows me down sometimes, my vision. But it's not because I have a mental problem or, a developmental problem. And see, I know what those words are because I've taken psychology in college. I've got a degree in it. When I use those words, I can tell you what they mean. And I can pronounce them. A lot of people say the words and can't tell you what they mean. But developmental means that it can be motory, meaning in your learning, or in your motor skills, like what you do day to day, how you, it could be socially, or it could be mentally, emotionally, in your mind is messed up. You could have mental issues. Like with people that have schizophrenia, they often hear voices and manufacture voices and say they're real, but most of the time they're not. Like a lot of times when you know somebody has, you just have to love them and you accept them, and you don't write them off either. You just know that they're not crazy because they're on medication. The medication controls them. You wouldn't want to be around somebody if they weren't taking their medication, or they say meds, but you wouldn't want to be around somebody if they weren't taking their medication. You couldn't stand to be around them, but they were not on that. So it's good that they're taking their meds, and thank God they have them, because that makes them a lot better person to be around than if they weren't on them. Trust me. So I know from experience being around people like that. But the thing is, when they're on their meds versus when they're not, it can be really total 180-degree different experience. It can be a lot worse for you. But I want to tell you, when you give to our ministry and you give to disabilities media, you're not only helping a ministry, but you're also supporting a growing business in this area and a person that's disabled, like me. You're helping me to be able to do the things that I can do for what I went to school for, and to help make people happy. I have dozens of testimonials, loads of letters of recommendation from people doing work for them. And I have them here kept in a journal if you want to see them. Because a lot of people, sometimes are skeptical about when it comes to what we say. And sometimes people think you make things up. I've had experience, which I don't make anything up. But yet I've been accused that some people in my family treat me like that, which I have not embellished anything. When I say I'm an ordained preacher, I really am. When I say I'm a computer person, I really am. I have the hours, I have the certifications, I have the clearances, I've gone to school for it. So yes, I really am. So the thing is, when people say, that you embellish things, it's really hurtful, because they're just ignorant, because that just shows the lack of knowledge or understanding or of what they know about you. And that's why they say it so quick to say that. Your family, my family especially, they don't really know nothing about me. They don't know where I went to school. They don't know all the stuff that I've studied. They don't know where I've went. They don't even know who I really am. And so all they remember is me, what I was like in my teens and 20s. And all they do is tell people, oh, well, he's Michael, he sings, he's a dreamer, but he'll never really make it to anything. You ever have people like that in your family? Oh, well, there's Michael, he's the other one. Yes, he's a singer, he's a dreamer, but yet he never does anything with his life. That's the kind of family I have. I'm sure you people with disabilities probably can identify with that. Oh, we don't want to speak with him. No, he talks too much. Oh, no, he tends to dominate the conversation. No, or really it's because you're not really doing that, but that's the way they perceive it, because they really don't want to hear what you got to say. And that's what I've experienced with my family. They used to do that a lot. But I don't really see them all that much, so I don't experience it really, because I don't see them as often. So when I go see them around the holidays, it's not like that anymore. So I thank God that it's not, because I think they're starting to realize that I am a person, even with this disability, that wants to be treated just as normal as they are. And that's the way we should approach people with disabilities. We should not treat anybody out here that is any different from anybody in the world, because in spite of our disability, we're still doing tidal waves of things, more so than what a normal, quote, normal person is doing. And we're impacting more lives because of our disability. Sometimes our disability gives us more opportunities to do that, more so than those that, quote, say they're normal. I like doing that, normal, because a lot of people, that's the way they sound when they throw it out, that word, the way they speak it, that's the way it comes out. That pridefulness, oh, I'm normal, and he or she is not. I don't want to be around him or her because he or she just don't fit in our group. No, he's got disability. No, stay away from him. Stay away from her. Get him out of here. out of here. You don't speak the right language that I speak, so therefore you are not normal. And the only reason why you don't speak the same language that they speak is because you're disabled, and they're just trying to say that with words because they don't want to speak to you or listen to what you got to say because they didn't say it first. See how it works? So being disability is not a bad thing. I've learned to deal with this and adapt for years. But the thing is, I like to get off the system too. I like to get off the government welfare. I like to do all the things that everybody does. Have a house, have a mortgage, have a family, have a pretty wife. She doesn't have to be disabled. I would marry someone that wasn't disabled if they would marry me. Because once they got to know me, they probably would marry me if they would just take that chance to get to know me. Because I'm just like everyone out here. Everybody thinks, well, disability people, all they do is talk about their problems all the time. Not me. Me, I always try ways to get around them. And see, that's another misnomer too, where people think you always talk about your problems all the time. And all you have to do, some people are like that, but most people, like me, a lot of more so, are not. Because they want to do things just like you, every bit, and have the same opportunities. That's what all disabled people really want to strive for, is having the same benefit and opportunities just like you get. Same pay, same job, same everything. Because all in all, when it boils down to it, sorry about that. Gas is acting up. I think it's those nuts I ate the other night. Sorry. Like I said, it's teleprompters for free. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. But the thing is, it is teleprompter for free. But the serious thing is, that's all people really want, is the same opportunities as you, that everybody gets. They don't have to make $1 million to preach a good sermon. I preach them every Sunday here on YouTube, as well as if you come here to our church at New Hunter Church of Christ, that God has helped me to lead and to create for the work of doing the work of the Lord here in Mechanicsville, Virginia. And you don't even have to live here in Virginia to send a donation. You don't even have to be in this country to send one. That's the amazing thing about the internet. I mean, you don't even have to be local in Virginia to listen to me every week. If you're sick or shut in and you want to send a donation, please do so. Because you'll help me, but also you'll help the church to grow. And you'll also help my business to grow. Utilize my services. Take advantage of all my services. Okay? And learn to be more helpful and giving to people when you see people that are, unquote, not normal. Because really, when people treat people wrong, what people say when they're disabled, what they think on the other side of the table is that there's something wrong with people that are supposed to be better understanding and better working. Because the way they treat people, have you ever thought about it? Don't if you treat people better, then maybe that will come back around to you. And you don't have to feel sorry for them either. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I just want your help so I can do this ministry more effectively. And with monies, that's the way it's going to be done. That's the vehicle. To go to all these different churches, it costs fuel and money and plane tickets and to record these things. That's what it really costs in reality. Put on YouTube is free, but all the stuff you do in the background is not free. To get it out there on YouTube is free, but the cameras, the equipment, the time to meet with these people, you got to pay them something often, sometimes just to get them to talk to you about something. Because normally that's what you do. People just not too often want to get on camera and just speak freely anymore. They want to get paid for their time. And I have to pay them. So that's another cost that we incur when we do these video excursions, when we talk to people exclusively on the Silva's Media, or New Hunter Church of Christ platform on our station here on YouTube channel. So anyway, think about these things and then help us so we can do more for you. We love you, or I love you. Take care. Shalom. That means prosperity, good tidings. Hope they come your way from God. Because that's what shalom really means. Good health, wellness in life. And I'll see you next time. Subscribe down below for free and watch for free. And remember, please send a donation our way. At 7110 New Hunter Road, apartment 423, Mechanicsville, VA, meaning Virginia, 23111. Our phone number is 804-789-9373. And our email address is mikelbtmn, that's Mary and then Nancy, and 71 at gmail.com, com. And, please let us know what you can do. Get involved with us. Don't be scared. Don't say, oh, he's disabled, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. But instead of being prejudiced or acting like, oh, I don't want to put my hands in that, start acting more like human and be like what Jesus would do, because Jesus would not act that way. And neither should you act that way. For those of you who all think, quote unquote, you're normal. Okay? All right. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye for now. Send another update tomorrow with our message coming up. A sermon, continuing our series study in Romans chapter 5.